I'm probably going to lose my mind. Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Untamed Mando. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're back. We're back with episode 8 of Ahsoka, and it was a very anticlimactic, in my opinion. I was expecting something different, and that did not happen, but I think a lot of people were expecting some different things, and then there were some moments where I was like, okay, well, that's fine, it's cool, I get it, so overall episode wasn't so bad. It could have been worse. It could have been a much worse episode, but not quite. You wouldn't pick this episode for a season finale, in my opinion, but that's just me. So let's get into it. Screen Rant, Episode 8, Recap 13, Biggest Spoilers. Let's go. So the season finale of Ahsoka was an epic, I don't know about epic, conclusion full of breathtaking moments, intense action, and plenty of setup for the future of Star Wars. Screen Rant really enjoyed this episode. The series may have started slow, but Ahsoka quickly found its footing and delivered some of the most exciting moments in Star Wars TV history. Really? I wouldn't say that. Ahsoka Episode 8, The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. Bringing brilliantly, okay. Wraps up the season. Brilliantly? Really? Wraps up the season's main storyline while leaving room for plenty more in future New Republic era Star Wars movies and TV shows. Yeah, I kind of left off on a cliffhanger, so I imagine there's a lot of things that are going to be happening after this. Ahsoka Episode 8 contains several moments that build on previous canon Star Wars projects and elements from the Legends continuity. Some of these references are more obscure, but certain clues hint at what's in store for Ahsoka Season 2. From answers to season-long mysteries to payoff for longtime Star Wars fans, 12 moments in Ahsoka Episode 8 stand out the most. I mean, it definitely had a lot of quote-unquote Easter eggs, and if you are a longtime viewer of Star Wars, Rebels, Clone Wars, you recognized some of the things that were happening in this episode. So Morgan Elsbeth becomes a true Night Sister and receives the Blade of Talzin. Yay! You're not as excited as I am? It's fine. Morgan Elsbeth sought the approval of the Great Mothers as she searched for Grand Admiral Thrawn. And she got her wish by being imbued with Night Sister magic. She underwent the same Night Sister initiation ritual as Asajj Ventress in Star Wars Clone Wars Season 4, Episode 19, Massacre. Reborn as a true Night Sister and receiving the Blade of Talzin, Mother Talzin once wielded the sword in a duel against Jedi Master Mace Windu, making it a high honor for any Night Sister. I'm confused. These Night Sisters were supposed to be isolated from the others in our normal Star Wars galaxy. How did they get this blade? It's just, I'm a little confused, but that's just me. All right. Ezra builds a new blue lightsaber inspired by his masters. That is correct. I enjoyed this little moment of, yeah, Kanan Jarrus. And everyone's surprised that Hu Yang knew Kanan Jarrus. My God, he talks about how he's trained a lot of Jedi Padawans, but I digress. Ezra Bridger returned to his original blue lightsaber color and used a hilt piece Hu Yang had saved for his master, Kanan Jarrus. Having Ezra's new lightsaber re-symboled Kanan's was a fantastic way to honor the late Jedi. And the blue color visually represents Ezra's story as a Jedi coming full circle, perhaps as a fun meta reference to the thin lightsaber seen in Star Wars Rebels. Ezra tells Hu Yang that his configuration will make the blade too narrow. Yeah, sure. I enjoyed this scene. This was a fun little scene. Ezra has no idea about Hu Yang, I guess, because Hu Yang helped train his master, and he's like, how old are you? He's like, I've been around a very long time, and I remember your master's lightsaber. I helped him build it. Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra all fight together as Jedi. Yes, the moment so many of you have been waiting for. I personally have not been waiting for, but hey, you all have been waiting for. Here it is. Ahsoka has several moments that bring the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels to life in live action, and seeing Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine Wren all team up was a series highlight. Each character has a distinct fighting style, and with Ahsoka seamlessly deflecting laser bolts while Sabine had to switch to blasters. Having a variety of lightsaber colors in the same scene is always a visual treat. But the banter between the three Jedi made the action pure fun. It was, I mean, the fight scene was fine. It was nice to actually see Ahsoka look competent and Ezra looking competent, and even Sabine kind of was competent here in using her lightsaber. It was fine. Clone Wars makes Legends version of Death Troopers canon. I thought this was pretty cool, if we're being honest. The Night Sisters used their dark magic to reanimate dead stormtroopers, effectively bringing back the Death Troopers seen in Legends continuity. Star Wars Death Troopers by Joe, whatever that name is, introduced an Imperial engineered virus that turned a ship of stormtroopers into mindless zombies. And the cracked helmets in Ahsoka Episode 8 made Thrawn's undead soldiers resemble the Legends Death Troopers. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, ushered in an elite stormtrooper variant called Death Troopers, but seeing zombie stormtroopers back in Star Wars canon was an odd yet surprisingly satisfying moment. I'll agree. I think it was pretty cool. I liked seeing the Death Troopers and seeing the stormtroopers be reanimated with Night Sister magic. A rematch between Ahsoka and Lady Morgan, and this time she doesn't have a giant spear. Huzzah! Ahsoka and Morgan Elsbeth had their long-awaited rematch in Ahsoka Episode 8, one of the show's best duels. Lady Morgan had a chance to wield the deadly blade of Talzin, while Ahsoka threw everything she had at her opponent, masterfully wielding both blades. Ahsoka's duel with Morgan in The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5, The Jedi, was one of Star Wars' best lightsaber duels at the time, but their duel in Ahsoka Episode 8 elevated the game. I don't think it was as good as they like to make it out to be. And here it is. Sabine finally uses force powers to grab her lightsaber. Yeah. She has the force. Cool. She's going to be the new Tar Vizsla, which I don't understand why they're doing that now, because I thought Grogu was supposed to be the new Tar Vizsla, but I guess Sabine is now. I don't know anymore. Sabine has been working to master Force telekinesis throughout Ahsoka, and she finally succeeded when she used the Force to grab her lightsaber and kill a zombie trooper. The scene is very similar to Luke Skywalker struggling to summon his lightsaber in the ice cave in Empire Strikes Back, with the lightsaber moving slightly before flying into her hands. As a character who started seemingly non-Force sensitive, Sabine finally using the Force was an incredible payoff to a season-long arch. We also understand, we get a lot of answered questions about why is Ahsoka and Sabine why are they acting the way they are? Why is Sabine so distraught and so upset? And we get a little bit of insight into the Siege of Mandalore. When the planet was glassed, Sabine's whole family was destroyed, and Ahsoka stopped her training because she thought that she would use her Jedi training in order to do something bad, basically like fall to the dark side and destroy the Empire and just everything. So it answered some questions, but it did it in a really roundabout, long, convoluted way, in my opinion. I'm glad to understand why we get a little bit of more of a downtrodden Sabine, but she tells Ahsoka she's been keeping up with her training when she obviously hadn't been. She hadn't been keeping up with her training, and you could tell she was very rusty. But that's not something that Sabine would do. Sabine wouldn't just sulk in a tower like a teenager who's who can't get on their phone for an hour or something. Like it that's just my opinion. An incredibly shocking moment came when Ahsoka killed Lady Morgan, striking her with a lightsaber and the blade of Talzin. Ahsoka has always been an outstanding duelist who struck down many adversaries, but Morgan was one of her more challenging opponents in The Mandalorian. This made Morgan's death more impactful when Ahsoka managed to gain the upper hand and strike her down. Come on, y'all. Ahsoka has plot armor. We knew she was going to take her down. They keep hyping it up, making it seem like it's such a big battle. It wasn't really, in all honesty. I thought that Ahsoka's duel with Baylan Skull was much better. That's just me. That's just me. Grand Admiral Thrawn's first and potentially last words to Ahsoka as he's making his getaway. Thrawn himself admitted that it was a shame he and Ahsoka didn't meet face to face, but the Grand Admiral made sure to give a memorable speech before departing the galaxy. Thrawn called Ahsoka a Ronin and noted how he used her master against her to get inside her head, jumping into hyperspace before she could say anything. While the outcome means Ahsoka and Thrawn may never meet again, they will likely have the chance to face each other in person in Ahsoka Season 2 or Dave Filoni's The Mandalorian movie. So that still is, that's happening. Okay, cool. They're doing a Mandalorian movie. Fabulous. Ahsoka, Sabine, Huyang, Shin Hati, and Baylan are all trapped on Peridea. Yup. Several main characters are trapped on Peridea, each one pursuing separate goals. Ahsoka, Sabine, and Huyang continue Ezra's mission to protect the planet's inhabitants. Shin Hati will likely become the new leader of the Marauders, and Baylan Skull seeks a mysterious power. It's unclear when or how they will escape the planet and in what ways it will affect their role in the upcoming Star Wars projects. The Force Gods of Mortis return for any of you Clone Wars fans. Look, it's the father. Oh my god. The Force Gods of Mortis continue to play a significant role in Filoni's Star Wars TV shows, as each one appears differently. In Ahsoka Episode 8, Baylan discovered statues of the father and the son, while Ahsoka spotted Morai, the Convor Owl, hinting that the Mortis gods will shape Ahsoka Season 2. It has also been speculated that Ahsoka is setting up Abeloth, a dark entity from Legends who was essentially the mother among the Force Gods of Mortis. Makes sense. Thrawn and the Great Mothers arrive at Dathomir. Thrawn and the Great Mothers chose Dathomir as their final destination, implying that it would be their base of operations as the Grand Admiral wages war against the New Republic. The Great Mothers already have the power of foresight, the ability to raise the dead, and the mysterious containers Thrawn transported. I imagine they're probably bodies. Now that they have access to Dathomir, and with Thrawn able to call on the Imperial Shadow Council, the Grand Admiral can take his place as heir to the Empire. Yeah. Ezra reunites with Hera, Syndulla, and Chopper. Aww. Ahsoka and Sabine may be trapped on Peridea, but Star Wars fans experience another long-awaited moment when Ezra reunited with Hera and Chopper. Ezra wearing the Stormtrooper armor was a nice callback to Star Wars Rebels, and it was a heartwarming. Chopper immediately recognized him, even with the helmet. Hearing Ezra say, "I'm home," is what Hera and the audience have been waiting for since Star Wars Rebels ended in 2018. No, I thought he was gone. I thought he was... I didn't think that we were ever going to see him again. And with Thrawn returning, I just... kind of, to me, diminishes what happened. But, oh, look! Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost. Look at him. Anakin and Ahsoka's reunion in the World Between Worlds, I think it was more of a fever dream, but that's me. Was one of the show's best sequences, but it wasn't Hayden Christensen's last appearance. The final shot of Ahsoka Episode 8 showed Anakin's Force Ghost continuing to watch over his apprentice as she begins the next chapter of her journey. And the main character of George Lucas's Star Wars saga, Anakin's Force Ghost, was the perfect way to end the season, symbolically passing the torch as he watches from the beyond. It's also a great final moment between Master and Apprentice, neither having to say a word, as the Ahsoka season finale cuts to black. A little anticlimactic, in my opinion. There were definitely bits and pieces I enjoyed out of this episode. I I thought Thrawn knew exactly what Ahsoka's plan was, and he was able to thwart it. But Ezra was still able to jump onto Thrawn's ship before it leapt into hyperspace. The Force gods, I figured you had to have them in an Ahsoka show. I don't like that they waited till the last minute. I would have liked to have seen the owl make a different appearance like throughout the show, but I guess that's fine. I Part of me was wondering like if maybe Balin's skull was doing something with the Force gods, with the brother, the father, and the sister is technically Ahsoka now. So I mean he very well could be looking for the mother from Legends, which would be cool. I just I don't know. Ahsoka and Shin and Balin, all it answered like a couple of questions, but it left a lot more questions in my opinion. I guess Sabine is now the new Tar Vizsla, which would make her Mandalore. No, well, actually, no, she can't be because of the dark saber is destroyed now. So I guess Sabine is just a Jedi that was once a Mandalorian. She wore her helmet sometimes. Even Bo-Katan would probably be upset with her with how often she takes off her helmet. But season finale, as far as season finales go, this was not a great season finale in my opinion. It left off on a cliffhanger. I imagine if Dave Filoni is going to be doing his movie, the Mandalorian movie, that it's going to be basically a big showdown between everybody that we had in this show. Balin's skull, unfortunately, his actor passed away, so I don't know what they're going to do about that. If they're going to recast him, if they're going to just resurrect him, I don't know. They're kind of in a bind. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I give this the 6. 6 overall. It had some really cool moments. It had some good moments. It had some if you're a longtime fan, you'd enjoy it. But if you're not a fan of Star Wars and haven't been for a while, you're probably very confused about what the heck is going on and why are there zombies now. So it could be a lot better. This show or this episode in particular could have been a lot better. It didn't make me as angry because Sabine actually was being somewhat competent in both her lightsaber capabilities and her Mandalorian training. She looked like she at least kind of was getting back on track, back on the bike, so to speak. It just why do we have to wait till the final episode? And yeah, of course she's now force sensitive. She can move the lightsaber. I don't understand why why they did that to Sabine's character. I feel like we need more Mandalorians, not less. And I know there are going to be people who argue with me about Sabine's character. That's fine. You can have your opinion. I was just hoping that we would get a Sabine who is at least very competent, very angry, like not pouting, because Mandalorians don't pout. They go fight things. They go beat things up if they're upset. And they don't just go up in a big tower and pout like Cinderella or Rapunzel. So there are just so many things about this show overall that was it better than Kenobi in my opinion? Yes, absolutely. I think Hayden Christensen did a fabulous job. I know a lot of people don't like Ahsoka's actress. I think she did fine. I think overall it was a meh show. It had a lot of potential to be a lot better, and that's where I'm a little bit disappointed. There were things that they could have done to make certain characters a little bit better, and they didn't do it. So I kind of feel like Morgan. I knew Morgan wasn't gonna get back home. She was just she was a pawn. She was used and then thrown away, and that's what what's to be expected with people who, that's their one purpose, is to find a thing, and then once the thing's found, they don't really serve a use anymore. So yeah, it's not great. It's not horrible. I wish that it could have been so much better. And but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry that I've been a little bit scattered with my videos. Just lots going on in my personal life right now. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and put your comments in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you really enjoyed this episode, tell me why you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy this episode, tell me why you enjoyed it. I like to try and hear everybody's thoughts and get a broader perspective, because I want to try and give as much of an objective opinion as I can, always understanding that I have my own biases, but trying to bring you a very objective opinion about this episode. Was it okay? Yeah, it has some cool moments. Absolutely. Was it great? Very anticlimactic ending, in my opinion, but not an unsurprising ending, if that makes sense. Anticlimactic, but not unsurprising with the direction that the show was going. So yeah, everyone, I hope that you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Hey, what's up, everyone? Shit, I can't do this. Okay. Sorry, America. This is gonna be rough.